everyone, welcome to the Fly Racing Can-Am GNCC post-race show, coming to you from the Big Buck GNCC, round 4 of the series. Got a special guest with us, Mr. South Carolina himself, Steward Baylor. How's it going, buddy?
Pretty good. Everything didn't go quite as planned, but good day.
All right, don't give it all away yet.
Yep,
Don't let them know exactly what happened.
Right.
You don't know exactly what happened yet. So we'll just start this thing out first. We'll make Stewart just kind of wait for a second. We'll get started with the XC1 race. We had Paul Whibley jump out to another hole shot, which is just, I don't know, just kind of commonplace these days. He's getting some crazy starts. I don't know how he does it with that four-stroke. The thing fires like first kick every time. But he jumped out to the lead initially, and then Caleb Russell put a pass on him pretty quick, and led the first few miles. And I think Paul got him back at the 4 or something like that. But then Caleb made another pass there, and he kind of just checked out. We had Charlie Mullins way in the back off the start, which was not good for Charlie. He was looking to repeat his performance here last year from the Big Buck, and he eventually worked his way up, and caught Whibley, got around him, caught Caleb, and I was like, oh, here we go, it's going to be on. We had those top 3 guys, have been the fastest 3 guys in XC1, all wheel to wheel, and they rode like that for a little while, but then Caleb just dropped the hammer on him again. What could you see, Stu, as you were coming up? Now we'll just jump to the XC2 real quick. This is a little different than normal. You did not get the whole shot, but you got an okay start, right?
Yeah. Last year I had horrible starts every race, and this year I've had a little bit better starts. But I think it was 3rd or 4th, and just right in there. And I didn't start off. I started off a little tight. Still Creek, I came out right on top, and caught up to those guys quick, and was able to make quick work of them. But Jedediah Haynes, he was on fire at the beginning, and Jesse came by me, and as well as Cody Gregg, he stayed out front for a little while, and I kind of got to watch that unfold, and I was just riding really tight, and once I loosened up, I made quick work with those guys, and then got into the XC1 guys, and the dust was just insane, and it was whoever was really leading, and I didn't see the XC1 race. I was getting pit boards telling me where I was compared to those guys, but I know just from riding it, like, there's sections where just to even catch up with those guys, you've got to be able to sprint, and gain 20 seconds, because they can lose you by 20 seconds in a dusty section. You can't see a thing.
Now, what was it like for you coming through the pack? Are those guys, is it to the point now where a lot of the guys, they just let you by when they look back and see it's you, or are you still having to work for each one of your passes?
I guess the XC1 guys have really gotten a little bit more used to seeing me. I'm really pushing towards that, towards the overall, and hopefully gonna get it sometime soon. They look back, and I'm not really having any problems. And sometimes I'll get behind one, and we'll just be able to hook up and ride for a while, and like at Still Creek, me and Whibley and Butcher got to ride most of the race together, and I got to watch their battles unfold. But today it was pretty quick to get by them. I'd find good sections that I could really sprint and catch up, and then whenever it was dusty, I kind of gapped them pretty quick. They couldn't see, and same thing with me. So
I guess that kind of ended up being the story of the day. We saw the guys, it started to get spread out. Caleb started to eke out a lead, and it wasn't very big. It was 5 seconds, and then a few miles later it was like 10 seconds. And I think he was taking that that dust to his advantage, and he pinned it. He said he had arm pump the first few laps. He shook that out, and he just dropped the hammer. And we saw Charlie and Whibley go back and forth a lot there. I think it was at the 4-mile mark or something. There was a big mud hole.
Yeah.
And, I think they both crashed the same lap, and that let them tighten that up a good bit. But on the later stages of the race, Paul just found another gear. He was able to keep it within around a minute from Caleb, and Charlie just dropped back. And it's not the Charlie that we're used to seeing. You didn't get to catch him, but it was we're used to last year's Charlie, where he was pretty much in control of everything, and it's just not looking the same. Doesn't have that aggression that you're used to seeing out of him, and it was a struggle for him.
Charlie, I think even last year, the championship really wasn't won by the races he won. It was won by just being consistent. And he had a bad race in Still Creek, and he didn't feel good, but he salvaged good points, and even today he's just consistent. And I've been watching him since I was on 65s, and he gets faster as the season progresses every year. And Caleb's going to be hard to stop. I guess everybody knows that we ride a lot together, and I mean, he's on fire right now. There's no better way to put it. He's really on a roll, and his speed's there. And last year I think he was working with his inconsistency, and he kind of pulled that together, as you saw at the end of the season, and he got fourth. And that's not really what he was looking for, because he's as competitive as I am, and he's looking for the win. And I guess his finishes have spoke for it. He's there, and he's wanting it bad.
Yeah, it's no doubt about it, and it's going to be interesting to see what these guys can do to try and match that speed, because he's been able to kind of take it up a notch there at the end of the races, which was last year was one of his struggles. That third hour seemed like this race last year he rode with Charlie out front for a really long time. And then that last 45 minutes, man, he dropped the anchor. Strang was able to get around him. He still finished on the podium, but he wasn't able to contend for the win. And today he looked just as solid at the finish as he did early. I guess we should talk about some of the other guys in the XC1 class. We had Toby Price visiting from Australia. Things did not go so well for him. He was riding a KTM 500 XCW with a big tank on it, but ran out of gas after an hour and 5 minutes. Pushed his bike back to the pits, did about another hour and ran out of gas, but this time he was down at the bottom of the creek, so that was no good for him. He was working his way up through the pack, got up to about 5th on the second lap, was the last time I saw him. Then he kind of disappeared. We had Bad Duval get another top 5, finished 4th today. Now he was a good bit out of that top 3 guys, but for Thad, that's 4 straight top 5 finishes, which is something he's never done since he moved up to the XC1 Pro class. So I know he's not real happy about the finishes. Nobody, all you guys want to win. That's why you're here. You're not here to get top 5s. But with a new bike, new team, these are things that he can build on. And then we had all sorts of crazy stuff going on in the XC2 class. So we had Jesse Robinson lead early, and then all of a sudden you got around him and he was in second, and then he just kind of fell off the map. Did you happen to see what happened out there with him?
No, I didn't. I got by him. He, me and him are really good friends, and we ride at all the local races together. And he came up on me, and he got by me, and then whenever I got loosened up, he just kind of let me by, and I think he was kind of keying off of me. And I love watching and riding with Jesse. He's got awesome lines, and I think he's probably got better lines than anybody out here. For the speed he's running, he's always so consistent. And it surprised me to see that he wasn't on the podium. I knew he was second early, and I thought he would probably stay there. And then, I hear that DeLong's in second, and then Andrew comes in, and that's great for him. He's recovering from all that. And then Thomas on the KTM, bone stock KTM, finishes third, and I mean, I didn't expect it. I mean, surely he's not ever ridden it. I mean,
yeah, that's why I said he thought he had about 25 minutes on the bike. That was like kind of the big story of the week leading up to this, that he left the team, and there was sort of conflicting stories on the reasons why and all that. And then we didn't really know if he was going to show up or not. I was trying to talk to him I was sending him texts on Friday. Hey man, are you coming? And then all of a sudden I heard over the radio, yeah, well, make sure you guys clear room for Jason Thomas on Pro Road, because he's coming in. He's got a KTM 250 XC. So I don't know. I don't want to talk too much about what happened there. I don't really know, and I don't want to speculate. But it's good that he's back, because you don't want to lose a top runner like that. It's good for the series to have as many legitimate fast guys in the class as possible. So it's good he's back, and good for KTM, right? Bone stock KTM.
Yeah, for sure.
Podium,
I mean,
so,
KTM probably couldn't be more happy. He got the bike on the podium, and especially proving that you can do it on a stock bike. I'm sure Auntie and the guys over there were happy, but it really surprised me to see that he did that great on a stock bike. I mean, I've ridden it.
Well, it didn't look good early. I mean, we saw him, in the early stages of the race, and he was pretty far behind. And I tweeted, I was like, well, it doesn't look like this debut on the KTM is going to work out so well. But I feel like he kind of had a point to prove or something, so he didn't give up. We saw some guys up there. We talked about Jed was up there early.
Yeah.
Brad Bakken got up there in the mix, and he was riding well. And Jason was in a whole nother area code. It wasn't even in the ballpark, and he worked his way in, and we didn't really get to see it happen. You were in front of him. We were trying to chase Caleb around, and when he gets these big leads like that, it makes it impossible to try and shoot video. So yeah, it was a good ride for him. Good ride for a lot of guys out there. And I forgot to mention Rory Mead. He had a solid ride in XC1, and Jordan Ashburn did.
Yeah.
And, Corey Buttrick, wasn't what we were hoping to see from him after his first podium in Steel Creek, but hey, we're going to Kentucky, a place we've never been, the next race. So nobody really knows what to expect there because it's not a track that anybody's ridden. We don't, it's supposed to be fresh trails. So
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
I spoke with Barry about it, and he said it was going to be a little technical. There's going to be some rocks, and I love the technical. They're really fast, and like here, it's known for the tight section, and snowshoe is just known to be gnarly. And I love it when they throw in different stuff, a different twist. So I can't wait to see what it is.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We've seen guys. Nate Caney's been struggling on the Honda, but he thrives in technical conditions. So we'll see if he's able to make a move. We got Caleb, who usually, historically, doesn't do well in those conditions. Although he rode really well at places like Somerset last year. So it's gonna be interesting. It's kind of exciting for everyone. We're gonna go someplace new. Stu, You didn't say anything funny this whole time,
dude. I expected a whole lot better for myself.
So you're just bummed out. Is that what it boils down to?
Everybody's asking me if I was tired. I came in and laid my head on the bars. I was just, I was really upset with my performance. I said it on the podium, and I just wish it rained. A two-stroke.
You're not the only one.
Yeah. The two-stroke just it thrives for ruts and berms and something to bank off of. And on a track like this, the only berms or ruts are hard packed outside and choppy, and it throws you all over, and you can't really dodge the lines like you can on a four-stroke that just gets that extra traction. And I love the two-stroke, I love the power, I love everything about it, and except on days like this. So I think we'll see better days out of it though.
All right, so that means we still have to talk about you possibly winning an overall. This was not the one where we're like, okay, we can finally quit talking about it. All right, well, I guess we'll do that.
Well,
do it sooner than later, so the hype can be over.
Yeah,
every week.
Watsy's already threatened it. He said if I didn't get it, that he was going to have to show up. He said he was going to get back in shape, and
okay. Well, the gauntlet's
he was going to show up. So
that'd be interesting.
Yeah. I don't know what to say about that. I mean, he's an awesome rider, so I guess I better do it because I'd hate to get beat by somebody that old. I think he likes talking on his little interviews, talking a little bit of crap, so I'll talk a little bit back to him.
There we go. We got a zinger out of Steward Baylor, and with that, I'm going to wrap this thing up. We've probably been going long enough. Stu, thank you very much for doing this.
All right, no problem.
You're a fly rider. It's the first time we've gotten you on the show, so it was cool to have you do it. You did win today, so don't feel so depressed about yourself. And you got beat by 3 really, really good riders. So yeah, it's a solid performance. Maybe we'll get you back on here. Maybe, hey, how about if you win the overall, you do the post-race show?
All right,
I'll deal.
Yeah,
all right,
no problem.
So that's it for a couple weeks. We'll see you from Kentucky. We don't know what the heck we'll be having there. Apparently it's technical, but I don't know. That's it. I'm Jason Hooper. Who are you?
I'm Steward Baylor.
All right, we'll catch you guys later.